Some sheep. Dogtown Lake. There's sheep that get released there every spring. I think they've all gone home now, but these might have been two that were stray from the herd, got left behind. I don't know. Poor little guys. So we've been camping here just south of Williams for a little over a week. Without giving our exact location away, we're south of Williams and south of Dogtown Reservoir or Dogtown Lake Road, where there's also a lot of free forestry camping. And one of the things they do there every year is they release hundreds, if not maybe even thousands of sheep onto that area. And it's, as I've been told, the sheep go there and eat this invasive weed that grows there. So they do it every year as a weed control for the invasive species. Anyways, we're quite a distance from there, and the area we're in, we're told the sheep aren't supposed to roam in because this is more kind of designated for elk and deer, and there definitely is elk and deer here. We see them almost daily. However, this morning when we woke up and we're sitting here looking out, we normally see deer and elk, even wild turkeys out along there. And we woke up and we're having our morning coffee and tea, and we saw two little sheep nibbling on grass, wandering around way over there. This stood out to us as particularly odd because the sheep aren't supposed to be in this area. So we kind of were concerned. Had the sheep and the sheep herders moved on? We don't know how long they stay in this area to feed off of the invasive species. Had they broken free from the herd? Were they left behind for the rest of the season to fend to their own devices? We weren't too sure. But we hadn't seen the sheep around for a while, and we weren't too sure if the sheep herders were even around. So we kind of just let it be. Anyways, a few hours later, I decided I was going to run into Williams and run some errands. And as I was driving our long dirt road, because we're really far tucked back, like we're off the main forest road, off another road, off another road. We're lucky if we see one side-by-side drive by a day, which absolutely wonderful for us right now. But the sheep just didn't make sense. So anyways, a few hours later, I decided to go to Williams and run some errands, and probably about 3 to 5 minutes down the forest road that we're on, I saw the two sheep wandering again. And I thought, this just doesn't feel right. Some sheep. Dogtown Lake. There's sheep that get released there every spring. I think they've all gone home now, but these might have been two that were stray from the herd, got left behind. I don't know. Poor little guys. So when I got off this Forest Service road, got on the main road, I happened to pass where the sheep herders were with their hundreds and hundreds of sheep. So I pulled over and had a chat with them. I explained to the sheep herders that there were two random sheep that seemed to be lost, tucked in way into the forest where we were camping. They seemed genuinely interested in recovering the sheep. I tried my best to explain where we were camping, but it was tucked in so far into the pine forest that it was just too hard to explain. So I offered to lead the sheep herders to exactly where I saw them last. As we drove further and further into the forest, I kept wondering, how far will these guys follow me? I thought, surely they're just going to give up and turn around, thinking I'm some crazy lady leading them into the middle of the forest. But every time I looked back in my rearview mirror, there they were, following me. I led the sheep herders to exactly where I saw the sheep last and told them the direction I saw the sheep heading in. And of course, they were nowhere to be seen, at least not initially. I couldn't help wonder if they really now thought I truly was crazy, or led them on a wild goose chase. They thanked me profusely, and I went on my way, They had their ropes for lassos, they had a border collie dog, and even another sheep to help lure them in. I was starting to feel like I wouldn't be of any benefit to them and only get in their way. I wished them luck and went on my way. Since I was now closer to our campsite than I was to town, I decided to go back to the camp and explain to Tara that I had not even made it to town yet. I told her all about how I'd seen the lost sheep again on my way to town and then found the sheep herders. That I had led the sheep herders back to where I saw the sheep last, and now I was going to head back to town as originally planned. However, on my way back to town, I would have to pass the exact spot where I left the sheep herders. And even though I'm not even sure it was 15 minutes since I left them, they had already recovered the sheep, and I was ecstatic about that. Hey! Hey, you found them. That's good. Hey. I was truly impressed at how quickly the sheep herders recovered the 2 missing sheep. It was so nice to know that the sheep would be reunited with their flock. The sheep herders thanked me profusely again. I was so thankful they took a chance on me, leading them into the far depths of the forest. Sometimes you just never know what your day is going to consist of.